Yeah, 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 yeah. Hey guys, Davis here. I wanted to make a quick video just about explaining something that I've been thinking about the past couple of days. I was about to write a post on Facebook, but I figured I might as well make a video and see what you guys think about it. Now, the idea that I've been thinking about and just sort of the topic I've been thinking about is just the threshold of information that we've reached in our educational system. I think that with the rise of the ADHD epidemic, I would say that that's just a huge indicator that we're doing too much. It's actually a good thing and a bad thing, so I can unbox it for you guys. The bad thing is that we've reached this point to where we have so much information that kids are literally having to take drugs to pay attention and internalize it. With information and with learning in general, the whole point of it is so that you can recall information and use it properly. You know, you can learn a million different things, but if you can't recall it from your long-term memory and then be able to use it in practical situations, then there's really no point in you actually having gone through the whole process of learning it. On the good side of it, there's a good side and a bad side. On the good side of it, we now know how much the threshold is. We now know how much information is too much. If we've reached this threshold of information, then what we should be doing is stopping how much information we're trying to get these kids to learn. And what we should be doing is focusing on what content is the most important to give to these kids. I like to think of like an iPhone, right? So if you have 64 gigs on your iPhone, and that's what it naturally can do, I think what we should do is that instead of trying to figure out how can we have more than 64 gigs, it's like, how can we take that 64 gigs and pick the most important things that they learn? So if we have 64 gigs of storage on our iPhone and you start to go over your storage, what do you go and do? You go and delete all the stuff that isn't necessary to be on there, stuff that you don't want to be able to go back and look at. So you delete all the stupid pictures, all the dumb videos, all the music you don't listen to. You prioritize. You curate the information that's on your phone because you know you have a limited capacity of storage. We don't need to pick everything that sounds somewhat interesting or relevant. It's like, now we need to really pick what's relevant. Math is the first thing that pops up. I'm not even really good at math, so I guess I'm being a little biased, but instead of going really in depth with math that we'll never use, we should focus more on the math that we're gonna see daily. Math really isn't that complicated on the day-to-day basis, you know, calculating and multiplication, adding and simple division. Or it's like, I understand that it is healthy for the brain to an extent, but if someone isn't showing a natural inclination towards math, then I think that we can use their natural inclinations towards something else and try to foster that. I think we need to be doing this on every facet of education, and we really should start differentiating between what kids are learning in school and what they actually need to learn to be functioning adults. Not saying that we should ignore history, we should ignore math, we should ignore science, but we should be teaching things that are extremely relevant to someone to where they can actually see it multiple times in their life, to where then they can actually recall and at work. But I just think that we need to focus on something different. And so I think that we've reached a threshold of how much information we have, or a threshold of how much information we should be giving to students, and now we should pick apart what exactly that information should be. So we've found how much information a kid could take. Now we should try to figure out what we actually teach them. And so this is just a thought of mine. I was thinking about this the other day, and I'd love your guys' opinion on it. Just let me know what you think. Bye.